Any second now, it will be going live. All right, welcome to
Yeah.
another episode of Who's Your Nerds podcast. It's Chris and Chris again because yesterday was Valentine's Day. Tim never said if you'd be on, and Mikey is busy today. So you got us. You're
You
welcome.
got us. We're here.
What more could you ask for?
I mean, we're the shit of the show anyway. I mean, I'm
I
just
know,
saying.
right? People watch the show for us and only us.
That's right.
Even though Tim does have some hot takes that are pretty fun.
He does. I haven't heard from him ever since he, posted that the grass was slick because of the halftime show for
I
the
know.
for the big game.
Speaking of that was so horrible watching that, and like every time they got to like the painted area in the Super Bowl, it was like, all right, who's gonna fall?
That it was awful. Nobody had any grip. I've never seen anything like it.
Hmm.
Maybe we should like not put that much paint on the field. Like, is it
I
even
know,
necessary?
and it's all like last minute. Like, okay, we got all the photo ops done. Time to paint it. Night before.
Like the grass guy has one job, and that's to make sure that the grass is good.
The grass has to be greener.
You know, I mean, I liked it when they, um, like back when Cleveland played in the old Cleveland Stadium. Where the Indians played as well.
Yeah,
The
sure.
end zone was dirt, so they would paint the dirt green,
Huh.
but it was still dirt. You know, I think
Yeah.
dirt's better grip than the field they played on the other night.
Any heck, my backyard would have been better than what they played on the other night.
You're right.
But it was a pretty good game, I thought, all the way through. I
I
had to
suppose.
I'm old now and I had to call it at about halfway through the fourth quarter.
So you
So
missed the end of the game?
unfortunately I did.
What?
I'm old and I was falling asleep. So I cleaned up and went to bed.
But you missed the best part.
I know the no call or the call.
The call, that was a bad call. They weren't calling stuff all game long.
I
So
know.
if you could be that consistent and not plus it didn't really impede that pass play. He never would have got that ball anyway.
No, it
And
was
like
a bad.
it was a very bad call. You hate to see a game end like that, but I mean, it is what it is. I would have liked to have seen what Hertz could have done with 2 minutes left on the clock,
Yeah.
Because and then who's to say that a kicker would have made a field goal anyway? I
Well,
mean,
what do they say? You never put it in the hands of the refs or in the feet of the kicker. You never want to put it in there.
yeah,
Let's be honest. The Eagles made plenty of mistakes. There was the fumble. There was
that fumble
plenty of
killed them
bad calls.
because Kansas City offensively they didn't score, they weren't scoring.
Yeah, they were on the struggle bus right then,
Yeah,
and that could have killed the momentum. But they got plenty of momentum from that one play. Excuse me.
yeah, that fumble killed. That was the incident, and that the fumble was just as much a part of the big turnaround as the penalty at the end.
Yeah.
And so I was reading today because we were slow as hell. So like the final kick, like the guy that the field goal, when he kicked it over the net. So a fan caught the football. So the story is this guy was in San Francisco. He worked for Frito Lay in advertising,
Yeah.
and they called him Sunday morning, 7 a.m., and said, "Hey, we have an extra ticket to the Super Bowl. Can you get there?" So he rushes. He rushes to the. He rushes to the game. By the time he gets his flight, lands on it, he's sitting down during the national anthem,
Hmm.
and he enjoys the game. And then the final kick, he caught the football that basically decided the Super Bowl. Some Australian guy. The guy's not even from America. He's from Australia. So like security grabbed him real quick and said, "You need to get out of here, like fast." So he got hit by, he was taking pictures with a few people, and then security came down immediately. They said, "If you want to keep that, you need to get out of here." So they hustled him out of the stadium.
Well, isn't there like a rule where fans can't keep the footballs or something?
That's college.
Oh, my bad.
NFL, you can keep the ball. But does the kicker want the ball? Do the Chiefs want the ball?
Probably, yeah.
Do you keep the ball? I would take another ball that was used in the Super Bowl.
I would take it.
I would make a trade.
Yeah.
I would take a Super Bowl ball. I mean, it's a Super Bowl ball, But I would make a trade and then, maybe a autographed Mahomes jersey so I can sell it for a lot of money.
Yeah.
We've been told fortune.
Well, just like that one guy stole Tom Brady's jersey.
Right? So, I thought that was kind of a cool story, but I wasn't impressed with the halftime show. She lip synced all of it.
Yeah. Anyway. And she used the whole thing just to announce her pregnancy.
So,
I thought it was good. I thought it was a good show.
Plus, she didn't sing "Shut Up and Drive." What the hell? I like that song.
I wanted the Eminem song. I can't think of what it's called. The one with Eminem. But she's like the first one in forever to be, no guest, just her.
Yeah, it's about time.
Yeah. But I think she did really good. What was it, like 13 songs in 11 minutes or something like that?
Well, yeah, partial here and there. Yeah.
The Colts have a new coach. The offensive coordinator we got the new offensive coordinator from the Eagles. It's our job. He's ours now. So
yeah, we know how that worked out with the last offensive coordinator from the Eagles.
Hey, he did a good job.
No, he didn't.
He had a winning record overall. He just let's be honest. One, Andrew Luck retired on him. Two, they never got a. It's not 100% his fault. They never got a quarterback.
Yeah, so they'll draft. I saw mocked up that they would trade for number 1 to get somebody
to get the quarterback from Ohio. But we all know Ohio State quarterbacks never do good in the NFL.
Not lately. Justin Fields. I don't know if he's good or not because they got such a shitty team.
It's one
Chicago.
It's the first season, so you can't really say anything yet.
So it's kind of.
Speaking of shitty teams, how about Cowboys and Raiders? These guys suck.
What?
Oh wow, it's Tim.
Yeah, I saw Tim was here. Yeah.
Oh, I did.
Hello.
Derek Carr's officially gone as a Raider. I hope he does well wherever he goes. I'm sure he will. And then
you'll be able to see him in the Colts jersey.
And then whoever, I don't think they can afford him.
They can probably afford him, but I think they've learned their lesson to stop getting these veteran quarterbacks.
I hope whoever the Raiders get, they're just as shitty as they were this past year, because I think McDaniels is a joke. And I putting a new quarterback in there, it's like putting lipstick on a pig. It don't improve anything when you got a shitty offensive line. So there's that. Then they're saying that Aaron Rodgers could sign with the Raiders.
I don't think he will. He wants to go to a team that can win now.
Yeah, he wants to win before his career is over. Can you guys hear me okay? Because I'm not using my phone.
Yeah. And Dak Prescott was at the Super Bowl. That's probably as close as he'll ever get to the Super Bowl.
Don't say that.
Did he get booed? He got booed, didn't he?
Oh yeah, because he was
How
in.
How can you boo him for winning the Walter Payton Award? I mean,
they were in Philly.
Well, I mean, they weren't in Philly.
They're not in Philly, but half of the crowd was like Philly.
Just don't do anything. I mean, you can't boo a guy who wins the Man of the Year award for like doing something great for his community that he lives in. I mean, I never heard of the. No, I mean, I guess LeBron got booed too, though. If I understand.
All they did was donate a lot of money.
So.
But I think they do like charity and stuff like that too.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does a lot. You have to do. I think you have to do so much community work.
I know Jack does like a lot of work for like the community and shit.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great. Whoever wins that award, I think it's great. That's a great award. But on to the next Super Bowl. It's a long way till February next year.
Yeah.
My least favorite part of the year.
On to racing season now.
Oh, now it's basketball and hockey's time.
And racing.
And racing, I guess.
I guess racing.
IndyCar season starts in 3 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks from Sunday. I think. Or
Where's the first race?
St. Pete, Florida. I hate their schedule. They race April or March 5th in St. Pete, and then they ain't got another race till like the first weekend in April, which is stupid. But it is what it is. And then, but then you got Formula One starting up. NASCAR starts up this weekend with the Daytona 500 Sunday. Big deal. Bleh. But it's racing. I'll watch it. And then,
like the average person, they would probably just assume that NASCAR was the only racing sport.
I don't know. That
sport,
stupid Drive to Survive has got people watching Formula One out the ass. So,
like, I didn't even know Formula One racing was really even like a thing. Well, I mean, like, I knew they did it, but I didn't know it was like a league kind of thing.
Yeah, they have a championship and everything. It's been like that for years. So. I mean, I've always paid attention to Formula One since I was a young teenager because it was racing and I watched it. But so I still watch Formula One. I'm not one of those newbies that just showed up because it's cool. It's on Drive to Survive. I remember one of the announcers from one of the Formula One races last year. I saw it in a tweet. They were showing Christina Aguilera at a Formula One race.
Mm-hmm.
And she was filming like the cars go by on her phone. And he used to be a former driver. And he goes, "Oh, look, there's Christina Aguilera pretending that she cares about Formula One." I was like, dang. But it's the truth. I mean,
yeah.
All these celebrities show up and act like they care.
Well, because it got popular all of a sudden thanks to the Netflix series.
It's a be seen kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's why.
Well, how much were those tickets for Miami or like downtown Vegas?
Shit, Vegas is you can get a suite for 3 days and tickets to the Formula One race, like so many tickets, like 10 tickets, and it's like $10,000. It's a package. Yeah. The all the casinos and hotels have package deals with the tickets. So yeah, I don't think you can see that race for the weekend for under a grand.
Yeah, it's silly. Like,
and to put that into perspective, let's put this into perspective, okay? So I'll buy a bronze badge for the Indy 500, right? Mm-hmm. So a bronze badge, well, that is get your entrance into the track for practice, qualifying, and carb day. It doesn't get you into the race. But I can buy a bronze badge and I can get into practice days and I can get into qualifying, all that, plus my race ticket, and it will cost me like $280.
Jeez.
And I get in the garage area. That bronze badge gets me in the garage area. So, $280 for Indy versus $1,000 for crappy seats to a Formula One race.
Yeah.
So, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'd love to go to an F1 race again, but I think it would be cheaper. I think it would be cheaper for me to fly to Europe and go to a Formula One race over there.
You're like, it'd be cheaper if I, changed my career and became a Formula One driver,
right?
To actually pay for a ticket. It would be better to start a career.
It's quite outrageous. So, I mean, when Formula One raced at Indianapolis, This was 20 years ago, but my race ticket was $70, which still wasn't a lot. Practice and qualifying was like, I think we went to practice and qualifying. It was like $40 total for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So, that's how much it's exploded now. So, I mean, you can go to Austin, Vegas, or Miami, and you're going to pay a lot of money. You can pay $300 for a standing room only ticket. Well, general admission ticket is $300 for Austin, and that's probably your best bet of where you're going to actually see something. Because it's a natural road course, it's not a street course.
Oh, I was gonna say, is it something specific about those events? Like
Yeah,
those three?
Miami and Vegas will be street races, and Austin is a purpose-built racetrack. So that's the difference. And general admission at a street circuit is not. I've done general admission for Miami when I worked the Grand Prix as a volunteer, and you don't see a lot. So
Do they do Formula One races in like normal stadiums, like in the same stadium the Indy 500 would?
they used to, from 2000 to 2007, they had the race at the Speedway, and then
Wasn't it like on the road course through the Speedway?
Yeah, it was on the road course. They ran the front straightaway backwards from the oval. Now the Indy cars use that for the IndyCar Grand Prix, and stock cars use it for the Brickyard. So you can see, but I asked the guy that owned the track at the time. I saw him in St. Pete, and I think it was like 2010. I saw him. I'm like, man, I said I'd really like to see Formula One come back, and he's like, well, talk to Bernie. He's the one that makes the decision. We want him, but Bernie was Bernie Ecclestone. He ran Formula One at the time. So it was different because, you could buy general admission and have good seats to the race. And I don't think they liked the way Indy handled the crowd. So, but it is what it is.
Indy knows how to handle a crowd, though.
They sure do. But now we've got IndyCars, IndyCars, stock cars, and now IMSA are racing at the Speedway this year. So I will be quite busy in the coming months from May to September. I will be busy. So.
Did anybody see the South Park episode last week?
No,
Yes,
I forgot that
Cupid
they
Yee.
started back up.
Oh my god, it was so funny.
It's on the HBO app. That's already on.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max, Chris.
Yeah.
It's usually
Yeah.
it says like the day after, but I looked like all of Thursday and I didn't see it, so it might be like late Thursday night or maybe even like Friday morning, something like that. Like Friday at like 3 a.m. or something like that. It might come out, but yeah, it's on tonight at 10. The second episode.
Yeah, Cupid Yee. Finally, an episode that didn't have to do. It was just a stupid episode, and there was no continuation to it. It was a good episode. And then
they just didn't promote it like they. Oh, I guess I don't watch much.
Well, you don't even watch TV like normal TV, so how would you know?
I know. I was about to eat those words.
I just follow South Park on like different, like a few different things, and I saw that it posted, like, I follow South Park on Snapchat, and every single day they put a different clip from South Park on, and they're all funny. They're always funny clips. So
I saw plenty of, but like I watch like my TV during the day, so that's where I saw it. I saw it. Plus, I watched like The Office on Comedy Central, and they were hyping the new South Park. So anyway, so yeah, we got new South Park. So that's pretty awesome.
I'll have to watch it before I start picking up Big Bang Theory again. I've been zooming through that show because I've been enjoying it so much.
And then
yeah,
Picard tonight, Chris.
I know. I'm gonna watch it tomorrow.
Well, yeah, it doesn't come out until like 3 a.m. or something like that. I usually I'm up anyway, so I watch it. But
I watched this documentary. Right, it was a 4-hour documentary. It was called In Search of Darkness, and I got to watch 3.5 hours of it because then my I lost it. But so it was about horror movies of the 80s, right? And I talked about how innovative everything was. And like the special effects, how they were innovative and how they transformed and got better and better over time, and how movies got gorier and gorier and stuff. So I didn't know this, but the only thing that stuck out to me, other than some of the movies are just kind of like just garbage movies. A lot of more garbage movies, but they're comfort movies, comfort horror movies.
Yeah.
But so like when they did Halloween 3, right? So Halloween 3 was not like Halloween 2, right?
Sure.
Halloween 1 and 2 was Michael Myers, okay? But so the guy who did Halloween was John Carpenter, right? He was the director. And so he really didn't want to do Halloween 2. So he didn't direct it. And all it was just a bad rip-up of Halloween 1. It just moved from chasing the babysitter in houses to chasing the babysitter in a hospital. So Halloween 2 sucked. So then they did Halloween 3, which was the Season of the Witch, which is this mask company mass produces these masks, and your kids wear them on Halloween, and then they're trying to take over, so the mask kills whoever's wearing it, right? When they show the commercial on Halloween night. So a lot of people were like, why did they even do Halloween 3? It's stupid, blah, 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 blah. Had John Carpenter says this too, they interviewed John Carpenter. They're saying, had Halloween 3 came out before Halloween 2, his idea of Halloween movies was a different story every Halloween movie. So Halloween was Michael Myers, right? So kill off Michael Myers at the end. That's the end of that story. Then you have John Carpenter's Halloween. Halloween 2, Season of the Witch, which is the masks from the crazy guy trying to take over the world. Then have another story for Halloween 3. So you just have a different...
It's like this, I don't want to say the same universe, but it's all just like a different movie, just a Halloween movie.
Yeah, but people were so stuck on Michael Myers, that's what people got.
Good idea.
I thought it was a great idea, and it's a shame that I wonder how. I mean, you got to think about that. I mean, yeah, Michael Myers would still always be iconic, even though he was just even from one Halloween, it was still an iconic character.
Yeah.
But you wonder how different the Halloween movies, the direction of Halloween movies would have went had there been a different Halloween movie every time they put out a new story.
Evil Dies Tonight.
What a piece of shit. Those last two were terrible.
I know we saw the last one, like the latest one, but I can't. It is so bad I can't remember what happened.
She chops him up in one of them car chopper thingies she beats the shit out of him because it looks like it's just two old people fighting at this point.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
She takes him to a junkyard and they run him through the car crusher thing, that. But like, if they would have just, I think it would have been cool to see them just kill him off, and then have a new Halloween with a different character and a different story.
Yeah.
Every time, and it makes you wonder how the difference in what the direction of the Halloween franchise would have went had they have done that. I think that's a great idea. So that's what we lost out on because people are stupid. And then, but I thought that was kind of cool. I thought out of all that 3.5 hours that I watched of this documentary, that's the thing that I got out of it. But that would have been cool. And then I noticed another thing. Remember, Chris, I was telling you I was watching Rocky 3 yesterday?
Yeah.
So, like...
Wait, which one's Rocky 3? Is that the...
That's Clubber Lang.
Okay.
Mr. T.
Yeah.
So,
I pit in a fool.
Right. So everybody and I'll admit this, like when I was a kid, nobody liked Clubber Lang because he's the bad guy, right? But is he really the bad guy? I mean, all he wants is a shot at the championship belt. He's not a bad guy. Rocky's a chump. Rocky's a chump at this point.
Bad guy.
Rocky's a chump because he's been fighting these nobodies and layover fights, and he finally gets a contender, and the contender's a trash talker, which he's got the greatest lines in the world. Don't give this man a statue, give him guts. That was one of my favorites. But I mean, Mr. T ain't a bad guy. Yeah, he kind of killed Mickey, but he really didn't. Mickey was an old man with a heart problem. He just got mixed up in that little altercation and died of a heart attack. So that's not Mr. T's. That's not Clubber
Mickey
Lang's
should have
fault,
been minding his own damn business.
right? I mean, that's not Clubber Lang's fault. All Clubber Lang, he trained and trained and trained. All he wanted to do was be the heavyweight champion of the world. That's all he wanted. So is he really the bad guy, or is Rocky the bad guy for not really giving him a chance? Then you got to think of the fact, Rocky went out, he trained in this hotel, and people could come and watch him train. He kind of mailed it in on that final fight anyway, before he got his ass kicked by Mr. T. So I'm beginning to, maybe it's because I'm older and grumpier now that I start to notice this thing that I relate more to the bad guys. But I just, Clubber Lang is not the bad guy. He really isn't. He's just a hungry fighter who wants to be the heavyweight champion of the world. And good for him.
Lord Sauron wasn't the bad guy either. He was just a man who wanted to control everything in Mordor. I mean,
Mamoru Uchiha wasn't the bad guy either. He just wanted to control everything too.
yeah.
I mean, controlling is not like just being the heavyweight champion of the world, too, guys.
He'd be controlling the division.
You're not controlling it, but you're reigning it because you won it. You won it the correct way. Except Ivan Drago didn't. He was a lab rat specimen who was taking steroids, so he cheated. So he's still a bad guy. Plus, he's a Russian. So
You're
yes,
a bad guy, but you're not a bad guy.
But Mr. T's not
Thanks,
a
Sam.
bad. Yeah, Mr. T in Rocky 3 is not a bad guy.
Like I said, I think Drago is really the only bad guy.
I think so too. Yeah, I agree.
Well,
He's,
you
the,
can't even.
he's the only one who literally set out to kill Rocky.
Yes. I most
Yeah.
agree.
Creed 3 looks really good though.
Creed
Trailer.
3 does look
If
really
he
good.
dies, he dies. Dude, I want to see. I'm not too excited about the Ant-Man movie, but
Flash looks great.
Flash looks good. I'm
I'm
kind of
Batman.
stoked to see that. I'm Batman. I'll go see that just for that purpose. And then, of course, Shazam's coming out. What else is coming out that look good? Did y'all fall for the commercial with the Tubi where they? Did y'all fall for that?
No.
I did. I turned to my brother. I was at my brother's house. I'm like, "What the hell are you doing?" He's like, "I'm not doing nothing."
Oh, I thought I was watching it with somebody, and I thought I was like, did I touch the remote? And I
Yeah,
looked
I
up,
know. That's what I thought. I thought
I
you
was
had
like,
the
no, the remote's up there. Hey,
was a
Chris,
great
did you ever find
commercial.
out anything more about remember that thing I sent you about the director from Knives Out that said, Apple forbids people from the
Yes.
bad guys from using iPhones? Did you ever find anything else
That's
about?
that's a
I
real
haven't. I'm
thing.
just gonna have to watch. I'm gonna watch movies and just look at that and see if that's true. I mean, I
Yeah,
would
but
have
that-
to watch
That is like a
Knives
true
Out.
thing.
I mean, I can watch Knives Out again. That's a great movie.
That is a real thing. Like Apple will not allow their items to be used by villains.
when their CEO is clearly a supervillain.
Yeah, he's Lex Luthor. Let's be
We've
honest.
seen it in South
He's
Park.
Lex Luthor.
Wait, is it Jeff Bezos?
No,
that's
Jeff
Amazon.
Bezos is Amazon.
Oh, that's Amazon. I was
But he
thinking
is
of
also
Park
Lex
episode.
Luthor.
where he's like a telepath.
I don't remember that. I just remember what's his face, the CEO owner of Facebook in South Park.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark
Yeah.
Zuckerberg.
You can't match my stick.
Oh man. Yeah, what other
I
things
dropped-
did they show? I missed the Budweiser commercial. I did not see the Budweiser commercial.
It was there was not a lot of good commercials.
I like the
suck
Bush
anymore.
the Bush commercial with Sarah McLachlan.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
the best one. Oh, of course, Cocaine Bear.
Oh yeah, Cocaine Bear.
I mean, Josie gonna go see that. That comes out
I mean,
next week.
there was some pretty good.
Transformers.
Yeah, that looked okay.
Oh,
Let's see.
Fast X.
I don't
And
give a shit about that. What the hell?
it's
They
so
stole DVD players.
it's so over the top. You can't. You have to love
They were
it.
stealing DVD players.
He goes back to one.
They were stealing. That's the premise.
Hey,
That's
guys.
where these characters came from. They
Hey,
were
guys, remember
stealing
7
DVD
years ago
players.
when we were stealing DVD players as they're like trying to attack the fucking cargo chopper
Now we're blowing up helicopters with a car while it's.
as they're like dragging the vault across the down the street.
That was a fun one though.
That
I
was
like-
my favorite one.
That might have been one of my favorite ones.
That
Definitely.
was a good one. That one was kind of.
Imagine they're like pulling it, and Tyrese is like, "Hey Dom, remember when we were getting DVD players? Yeah, I liked that more than this."
Yeah, the first, it's just so ridiculous now. Like, just stop.
I mean, I feel like it's kind of like
And now he's gonna drive the freaking Challenger down the Hoover Dam. Did I see that?
Yeah.
Have you ever been to the Hoover Dam?
Yeah. No,
It's
I
not-
haven't, but I've seen it.
Oh,
Seen it.
you know what? That's a dead straight drop. It ain't that angled. I'm just saying.
But you know what? We're family.
Jeez. Yeah, you know what? So are the Lannisters.
The
That's-
power of family. We got this.
So are the Lannisters. And they killed each other.
grabbing to them.
Yeah, right? It's family. Come on. I mean,
we also got a Indiana Jones trailer, which actually that movie looks not half bad.
I'm excited for Indiana Jones.
Yeah, me too. I like it.
As long as it's
I mean,
not
I
as
don't
bad as
a
the
lot of
Crystal
movies,
Skull,
but
which the Crystal Skull wasn't bad, but
It
you're
wasn't
cracking up
good
a
either.
lot, Tim.
Crystal Skull wasn't good either.
No, it wasn't.
What else is out? What else did we see? We saw Indiana Jones, Fast 10.
65 million years ago movie with Adam Driver.
Oh, I see. That looks good.
Yeah.
I like Adam Driver.
Adam Driver is so with every
That's
Star Wars,
pretty
there's one
awesome.
act.
It's a pre-Earth. It's a prehistoric.
Yeah. He travels back like 65 million years ago, and it's got like dinosaurs and stuff.
Yeah, that looks good.
But Adam Driver is the lucky one from Star Wars. Remember, there's always that one lucky one from every Star Wars series that makes it big, then the other ones kind of don't. He's the
Well,
Harrison
that's-
Ford.
That's a movie choice. Carrie Fisher did good for herself though. She wrote books and she
Yeah.
just didn't act, and she
And
showed up here and there.
Mark
She's a-
Hamill did a lot of voice acting, so I guess
Yeah.
not really.
but I mean, as far as you're talking about being a blockbuster movie star, yeah, Harrison Ford was the only one. Well, James Earl Jones, but he was just a voice.
Yeah. We got the Super Mario Brothers trailer.
I want to see. I'm excited to see that. That looks good.
Yeah, I'm not Chris Pratt. His voice just doesn't sell me. I'm sorry. And then the last one was Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves with
Yeah.
Chris Pine, which looked really good.
I won't see that either.
But they're not rolling D20s, so how are they doing Dungeons and Dragons?
I don't know. Does it start off with kids playing the game, like nerds playing the game?
I would hope
It's
so.
more the world of Dungeons and Dragons.
I was watching Big Bang the other day, and it was the one where the girls got kicked out of the airport and couldn't go to Vegas, so they go back to the apartment where the guys are playing Dungeons and Dragons, and they want them to play. And Sheldon's like, I don't know if I've ever played Dungeons and Dragons with a girl before, and Penny goes, "Don't worry, honey, no one has."
I played D&D with 2 girls, so
So I say to you.
And we lost a icon of beautifulness today.
who?
Kel Welch
Who?
passed away at 82. Google her.
It's pretty old.
What was the name?
She was fine as hell. Raquel Welch. Oh,
Was
dang.
she fine as hell as an 82-year-old?
She looked good for her age, like all through, like in her
I was
40s.
just saying, working at a hospital, I've seen some like 60-year-olds that look like they could be like 30.
Like she had the J-Lo body in that age before J-Lo had that J-Lo body at that age. In her 40s and 50s, Raquel Welch was smoking.
She's smoking Camels.
She's smoking something. I don't know. She was gorgeous though. But she passed away today. She was 82. So, I mean, just she looked good for like all of her age, for most of her age. I guess she got like in the past few years, maybe not, but in her like in the 80s, yeah, she was smoking. $1 million years BC. Yeah, she's hot. So, wow.
All right. So am I the only one watching The Last of Us?
Yep, because I ain't watching it. I don't want to be duped into watching a gay love story, so I'm refusing to watch the show.
Is that
I've never
other
really
than
played.
that?
I wasn't really a fan, so
You don't need to play the games, so
Won't watch it. Sorry.
it's really good. This last episode, you finally see one of the main like enemies, which is like a bloater. So basically, think like super like mutated infected. It was nuts. And they have like different voice actors from the show coming in, and like the main like one of the main antagonists this last couple episodes was the main voice actor for Ellie from the game.
That's cool. Bringing
So
in some.
it was kind of nice.
They're already done with it. I'm waiting for goddamn Halo.
I know.
It's gonna be soon because it ran concurrently with Picard, and it finished filming well before Picard finished film, before Picard even started filming season 3. I'm pretty sure. So it's gotta be soon.
Don't the Mandalorian start back up this soon?
March 1st.
Is it March 1st?
Yep.
All right. Better have some Mandalorian shit going on instead of that stupid little green thing.
No, it's gonna be it's all gonna be about Boba Fett, and then Mandalorian's gonna come in at the end.
Yeah, right. That's exactly. That's all right. I'm looking forward to that one. I've been watching. Well, you got Formula One Drive to Survive starts the 24th, which I'll binge watch in like 2 or 3 days probably. Then you've got Mandalorian. Stuff's coming out, the movies, and then what else is coming out? I don't know if there's anything else. I've been watching Ozark. I'm on the last season of Ozark finally. I can only watch that at one episode at a time. It's so dark, like darkly lit. It's like
turn your brightness up in your house.
No, I mean it's just the way it's shot. It doesn't. It's not that it's hard to watch. That it's dark, but
it was, when you said it's too dark, I was like, oh my god, what kind of show is this? That
it's just no. It's like it is kind of dark. I mean, it's about money laundering and killing and murdering. It's just the way it's filmed. Like Filter.
Yeah.
Like it's never sunny out and bright. Even when it's sunny and bright out, it's like dark and dingy.
It's like that sepia filter on it.
Yes.
Or whatever it's called.
That's how it's shot. I can't watch more than one episode. So I'm doing that. So
you're doing that.
I'm doing that.
Did you watch? Do you have any Knotbusters for us?
I don't, because I watched that 3-hour documentary. I was gone all day Saturday.
Chris, I meant to ask you, old man Chris, have you watched the have you seen the thing on you have Hulu, right?
Yeah.
Bitch. Have you watched I figured that show ABCs of Death would kind of be like right up your alley.
ABCs of Death?
It's called the ABCs of Death, and they have like I think 2, maybe part 1 and part 2, and it's like all about like horror movies, and it's like a bunch of horror directors came together to make it, or something like that.
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, check it out on Hulu because I feel like it sounds like something you would make.
I'll check it out and then I'll let y'all know. No, I was out of town all day Saturday, and then Sunday I was catching up on my DVR, so I was watching my alligator hunting show and snake hunting show, and what else did I watch? Moonshiners. So that was all day Sunday till the game came on. So I didn't get a chance to watch a Knotbuster. And I watched that 4-hour documentary on horror movies on Sunday. So
There's only one documentary I watch every once in a while. We all know what it is.
I just watched that
Class
a few
action.
weeks ago.
Class
Dude,
Action Park.
That documentary is so good.
If I'm just like I was playing Monster Hunter the other day, and I was like, I don't really feel like watching. Usually, I just have Futurama on or something like that, or Eureka. I just put on like something, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm just gonna put on Class Action Park. And I was watching it. I was like, it's still just as good.
It is. That is one of the best documentaries out there. I watched it. I think I watched it while I was working. I had it on in the background. I saw an old clip on TikTok from Headbangers Ball on MTV, and they were broadcasting a Headbangers Ball episode from Action Park, and they had Alice in Chains there, and they were jumping in the wave pool, and
Oh my gosh.
yeah, the deadly wave
Just
pool.
watching it because I was like, this is chaotic. How is this even a thing? It's crazy.
I need to watch this I need to watch the documentary again. It's been...
He's like, they make the new slide with the loop, and he just gives people $100 and they go down, and they come down with like broken body parts, and when they saw it, there was like teeth in the thing. I was like, oh my god, what is this? The Purge?
Why would you think that was a good idea from the start? Like he just built it. Like there was no science involved. There was no trigonometry. There was no algebra. They just built it
and make a loop and then go. That's it.
It would be cool. A slide with a loop. Do it. Snorts a line of cocaine. Do it.
Like he had the town like pretty much like under his thumb. He could do anything he wanted because he pretty much was running their town, like providing them all like the money and stuff. It's so funny. I was like, how is this allowed?
No, dude, the 80s was my parents, we have a pool here in town in Kokomo. Well, now it's Kokomo Beach or whatever, and it's slides and a wave pool, not a wave pool, but a lazy river and stuff. Back then, it was 3 foot in the shallow end, and then you had to swim to the center, and it was 9 foot deep, and they had an island out in the middle of this because it was a round pool. So in the middle of this pool was an island, and that's where the diving boards were. There were 2 high dives and 2 low dives. My parents would drop us off when that place opened and came and picked us up at 5 o'clock. And we had aside from the lifeguards, that was it. I mean, it was a free for all. Kids were running everywhere without parents. We were there every single day. Every day that it didn't rain, we were at the seashore. So that was very much the 80s, and I guess I relate to that. And that's what Action Park was like. Parents would drop their kids off. I mean, we would
like the people running the park were kids. We're teenagers.
The same age.
18, 19-year-old like kids.
Well, and so were the lifeguards. They were they might have been in college. The lifeguards at the seashore, they were probably college kids. They were probably 18, 19, 20 years old. So, yeah, it was. I mean, they did a good job. Like it wasn't. You didn't have like that craziness that Action Park did, but I mean, we still.
I don't think prison has the same craziness that Park has, man.
Like people would sit out on the edge of the. They had like a ledge. It was like a 4 foot deep ledge on the outside of the deep end, and people would stand out there in front of the high dive, and you would bomb people. You would run full speed off that high dive, which was probably maybe a 12. I'm gonna say about 12 foot high, and you would run as fast as you can, and you would almost get to the people out there waiting to get splashed. That's crazy. And the lifeguards just let us do it all day, every day. That's all we did. You swam out to the deep end, and you jump off the high dive. You try to splash people, bomb people. Or you would come up and, you would belly flop or back flop. Your whole body would be red from hitting the surface and then sinking. So it was a free for all. It literally was a free for all. So, yeah, the action part. Yeah, people were getting electrocuted. How many people died there?
Like a bunch.
Like
5 or 6, I think.
at least 5 or 6. There were 2 or 3 that drowned in the wave pool.
Then that dude at the
One-
end that bounced, that was going down like the
Yeah.
The Alpine
The-
slide.
Yeah.
just flew into rock.
The Alpine slide did not kill him. It was the fact that he hit his head on a rock. That's what they said. That was their explanation.
I didn't kill him. The rock killed him.
The rock killed him, not the ride.
And
Even though
then-
the ride didn't have a
the,
brake, because the brake was broke off of it.
The NRA somewhere is like, hey, don't do that. That's not how it works.
And someone got electrocuted, right, on the boats.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Didn't somebody like almost die on the slide, like the upside down, the loop-de-loop slide?
I actually get the shit beat out of them, I think.
Yeah,
Basically.
they just like they would go up and just bounce around. And, because it was just
You ever play that game like on your phone where you have the dummy and like you can push him down the stairs and he that's what that slide was like. It's like a live action version of that.
He was like, how can I almost kill a kid today? Oh, I know. I know.
There's got to be other places like that in America. I so want to hear about. There's more than one.
Oh
For-
man.
Well, there was that one in
Probably-
Kansas
probably
City,
not
right?
anymore,
Didn't that
but-
kid get like almost decapitated because he went too fast down the
Yeah.
slide?
I forget where, but I remember somewhere in Kansas.
Yeah. So there's got to be. I bet you there's stories like that from every water park in America back in the day. There's got to be.
It's just crazy.
Yeah, it was. Now everybody's, mommy's got to watch them even when they're in high school. And shit, I mean, they even call in their appointments for them nowadays. For their doctor. Kids can't call them. Their
Right.
kid.
I had like
22
a
years old.
30-year-old kid or a 30-year-old guy like having his mom call in the appointment. And he's like, and he's in the background just like, no, I don't want that appointment. I'm like, dude, you're 30 years old.
Yeah, call in your own damn appointment. Oh, you know what? I was thinking. Remember we were talking about that girl that had the apartment number. That
Oh,
was your
yeah.
old apartment, Chris.
No, we were 150.
Yeah, that's what I said.
You said 151.
No, I said 150.
No, you said 151.
Oh, did I say 151? Okay,
Yeah.
so she's in the building next door. Because I was gonna say I didn't remember
Get
seeing
the
it.
alcohol. 151.
It's kind of creepy, but at the same time, it's like, well, same town. It's gonna
I've
happen.
never seen her, so but I don't ever go out. I don't ever look out the window. So, except I went to the grocery today because it was warm today. It was nice out today.
I had my windows open today.
I got my sliding glass door open. But damn it, I forgot my cheese sticks. So now I got to go get cheese sticks before next week, which I'll do it Saturday because I've been volunteered to drive the damn truck again for show choir.
I was gonna say, isn't the show choir coming up?
It is show choir coming up. She's got her first competition this Saturday. Josie does in Center Grove, which is on the south side of Indianapolis.
Have fun driving that
I got-
box truck
got-
around.
Oh,
Indy.
No, she said they got a U-Haul. So
Have fun driving that U-Haul around Indy.
it would be better than that box truck. She's like, I volunteered you. I was like, okay.
That's not how volunteering works, okay? I'm gonna get you a dictionary and show you the definition of volunteering. It's
I
not
took
how
her. I took her to the Speedway Museum this past Saturday, For the record, I was going to go anyway, and I was going to go to the Speedway Museum on my own. And she's like, "Chris, we haven't hung out in a while," which was true. We went out the weekend before, and we went to Indianapolis and went shopping for CDs and stuff. And she says, "We need to hang out more." I'm like, "Okay." So, well, I said, "I'm going to the Speedway Museum next weekend. If you want to go, you can. You're more than welcome." So I took her to the Speedway Museum, and she didn't. She said she enjoyed it, like she wasn't bored. So that never happens. But then she called me autistic because I knew everything about everything at the museum.
You just enjoy what you know.
Well, that's what she was saying. She's like, "That's the way I am with my death metal music. It's the same thing." I said, "I know." I wasn't offended by it. She was just kidding around. But we were going to go to Firehouse. There's a Firehouse at Speedway.
Subs.
Oh my God, they're the best. There's one on Crawfordsville Road down from the Speedway. And
Tim,
we get to
have you
the
ever been to Firehouse? Sorry to interrupt. Have you
That's
ever
right.
been to Firehouse, Tim?
No, I don't think there's one
they don't have
around.
that far up north.
Yeah, no, I've never heard of it before.
Oh, they've got the
That's
best
sub
subs.
place.
So we go up to the door and it says takeout only due to lack of staff. And I'm like, shit. Like you only need one person to clean the dining room anyway. Somebody can't do that. So we ended up going to McAllister's across the street because you can't. Those sandwiches are so big and messy. You can't really not eat them unless you're taking. I don't want to eat one in the car. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I don't want to eat anything in the car. I don't have.
And we had Chick-fil-A on the way home. But yeah, so we went to the Speedway Museum and they had some cool stuff. I got a shirt for $5. It was on sale. Clearance rack. Pretty happy about that. But just a little over 100 days out till the Indy 500. Woo, woo, woo. Pretty excited.
Are you going this year, or are you just going to watch it?
What? Did you just ask that question?
Yeah.
I
You
go
didn't go-
every.
Nope,
I go
you don't.
every year. I just didn't go in 2020, and that's because they wouldn't let me in the gates.
Because of COVID, probably.
It was.
An outside facility.
Yeah.
Yeah, in an outside facility where they had taken measures to let people come in. And then, like 2 weeks later in Ohio, there was a race with fans there outside. So, what the hell's the freaking difference?
Let's
That's like-
not talk about Ohio because everyone in Ohio is going to be dead soon.
No, that's just on the east side. We're not that far. We're that's way on the other side.
Closer to me.
Not really, but that's still. Have you driven through Ohio?
Yeah, it's big.
That is a long ass state to drive through. That in Pennsylvania, man.
Talk about
Pennsylvania.
Kansas.
Wow.
Kansas is a long.
Kansas was. You know what? Iowa is worse than Kansas.
I mean, I guess
Honestly,
if you're going
worst-
like your state, Cali would be probably the biggest one to go through top to bottom.
Georgia. Ugh.
No, for me, Missouri. I hated Missouri.
Why? Missouri's pretty.
No, I thought Kansas was pretty.
I liked Kansas. I thought Kansas was pretty. Iowa's the worst. Oh my God, is it the worst? No, it used to be. Georgia didn't used to be so bad, but now, from an hour north of Atlanta to about an hour and a half south of Atlanta, it's a freaking nightmare. And that's 3/4 of the state.
Yeah.
So,
All Georgia has is Atlanta and
The
Buc-ee's.
Bulldogs.
I mean, if you probably went down 95 through Georgia, it probably wouldn't be so bad. You know.
Well, we were lucky when we hit when we went down there when we went to Disney. When we first drove through, we drove through at like 11 at night.
that's
so
the best time.
There ain't nobody on the road. But
Yeah,
on our
if you
way
get-
back, we couldn't help it.
No,
we
why-
hit
Why is it a night?
lunchtime.
Because there's not many roads going through it.
No, there's just no traffic.
No,
If you go
it's
through
it's
it.
horrible traffic. It's like 6-lane interstate, but you're going 5 miles per hour.
Oh,
See,
yeah.
I can remember going through Atlanta, even if you went through like at 7 o'clock at night, right? It would be busy. But then once you got north of Atlanta, about 20, 30 minutes north of town, it started clearing up. there wasn't as much traffic. It ain't like that no
Yeah.
more. When I drove down there, when I went to Florida a couple years ago to see my parents over Christmas.
It was in a horse and buggy.
No, this last year. I drove through Atlanta, but I got to south of Atlanta and stopped. So I could, I had a hotel on this, and that wasn't so bad. But when I came through, it was a freaking nightmare.
When we came back up north, it took, I think, an hour and a half to get through.
Yeah, it's a nightmare. I would think that going through, if you, like I said, if you came up 95, probably it's not so bad. That goes, around Savannah, and it's probably pretty out there. I mean, I've been to Savannah. Savannah's beautiful. So
I went to school with a pair of twins named Shannon and Savannah.
Yeah. That's where I got some crawfish. I got my crawfish for the first time.
I thought you were going to say something else. I don't know what I
Oh,
thought you were
man.
going to say, but I thought you were going to say something.
Crawfish is so freaking good. We went on a ghost tour. That was kind of cool. Went on a ghost tour. So, but yeah, if I drive, I'm going to drive out west next time I go on vacation. If I had the money, I could do it this year probably, because I've got a week's vacation built up already, which that gets done, and I'll use between the test at Indy in April and the practice and qualifying for the race. That takes up a week's vacation time there. But in the meantime, I'll accumulate, March, April, May, June. June, I'll have another 40 hours built up.
You guys know what I'm using one of my vacations for?
Comic-Con?
No.
Are you coming to Comic-Con? You coming to Indiana Comic-Con?
No, more important than Comic-Con.
There's nothing more. The Indy 500?
Indy 500?
No. Kim's going to kill you.
I told Chris that I wasn't
Kimberly's
shaving.
birthday?
Yeah.
I wasn't going to shave my beard until I get a date. So, between now and Comic-Con, because I'll have to shave it in May because I don't want to look like shit if I get my picture taken with race car drivers. So I'll shave it in May and then grow it back out. But I ain't getting a haircut or shaving until May, or I have to get a date. So look out.
Are you telling me to look out because I might be your date?
You're going to be my date, Tim.
You'd just be lucky I don't fucking stab the shit out of you. That's for sure.
That's funny shit right there.
Like, hey, I got you a gift. Oh, what is it?
Boom. Shot him in the head.
And at a wedding, it would be a red wedding.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I already told people to wear their chainmail.
and nothing else. Wink.
Where's the wedding going to be at, Chris?
The Connection Church used to be St. Luke's.
Where's that at?
Right there across from the. What'd you say, Tim?
It's at Red Robin, the wedding.
Yes, it's at Red Robin. If we had one.
What do you mean? You know Red Robin?
It's like a 30, 40-minute drive.
It's not. Yeah, it's probably 30. It's probably 25 minutes down there.
No, but it's.
Where's
that?
at?
You know where Mancino's is? That church across the street.
From Mancino's.
They're on 31 in LaFountain.
Oh yeah, across from Sue, please.
Yeah.
Really?
That's
where the Connection is.
Yeah, that used to be St. Luke's.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's the Connection, huh?
I picked up. I had a. I'm surprised you don't remember her, but we picked up and dropped her off there for Spirit Bus.
Who?
I don't remember her name. I just remember we did.
We did?
Yeah, because I set her up on and dispatch a couple times.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I picked up an old man from across the street there, behind Mancino's.
I picked up an old man and dropped him off next door to the Hugger, and we can only imagine what he was doing.
I dropped a guy off at the Hugger. I had to use the lift to get him down.
Yep, Probably the same guy. I don't.
He lived at Silver Birch.
Yep.
And I dropped off a couple kids at the pool. Okay.
Was it a Super Bowl?
Eh, we don't want to
It's
get
just
canceled.
funny when you drop off old men at the strip joint in town.
I don't judge. If that's where you want to go right ahead.
Hey, more power to you.
I'll take you there and I'll pick you up there. Just
I might be there in another 25 years, guys. You don't
I
know.
think
I
you
mean,
still get it up at that age. So, I mean, definitely more power to you.
that's what I said. I might be there in another 25 years. So,
more like 5 years.
no, I have a hard time doing that, giving money away for women just to get teased. I'm not that desperate.
I've gone 3 times in total, and I don't need to go anymore.
I've never been to the Hugger.
The Hugger is very. Let's just say it's got a bad reputation for a reason.
I hear if you go back and play pool, they don't bother you as much.
Exactly.
So.
I've always been told their pool tables are actually, it's a good place to go play pool and have drinks.
That's what I hear too. I've actually heard that.
Who knows? He might have went and played pool.
I didn't go play pool, but
no, I'm saying sure.
That guy went and played pool.
Yeah, he went and played pool in his power scooter.
I dropped him off. I picked him up from the Hugger and dropped him off. And I'm like, "You have a good afternoon, sir." And he ignored me. Like, dude.
Oh yeah, he was
one track mind.
I forget his name, but he was a complete asshole, and Jan banned him for like a month one time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because he was getting lippy with some of the drivers and the dispatch people.
I went in there the other day when I picked up my W-2. They still only have like 14 spare bus drivers.
They can't keep anybody.
That's insane. Why they should be full time by now.
Who's left? Like who? Every time I hear somebody else is left.
The full timers are still there, so I heard Kenny on the radio. He's still there, and Luann's still there. Carol's still there. Yeah, I like Kenny a lot. Kenny's a good guy. Yeah. Dennis, I see him driving around. I looked at the schedule. Marciel's still there, so I don't know. That's all I saw. So.
All those people are the lifers.
Yeah, those are the lifers right there. The ones I listed right there, those are all lifers. They're not going anywhere. This is their job till the end. Tina, so they'll retire from there. They'll start if they're full time. They'll start full time in January probably.
Are they all moving to full time?
I think so. I don't know. I haven't heard.
When
I quit, Carol's like, "Why you quit?" Oh no, they just moved to full time in January. That's right. I'm thinking wrong. Because when I quit, Carol's like, you would have gotten full time if you'd have stayed. I'm like,
that's not the point.
I'll
you still make more money now than.
I make more money now than they do, and I get like vacation time built up. Like I said, I got a week's vacation already built up. So.
And you don't have to deal with people face to face.
Exactly, and I've used it. I would have more than that, but I used a day and a half because I had a migraine one day, and then the other one was when I was sick over Thanksgiving. So
I've had doctor's appointments, and then the other day last week I was so sick. I worked for like a couple hours. And I was like, all right, I can't do this anymore.
I say it's better to try and work if you can.
Yeah.
And if you can't do it, at least you can put the effort in. Like hey.
Yeah, they appreciate hey, he at least tried.
Exactly. That goes a long way. Because when I called off, I worked a half a day on a Monday, and the mornings are always busier than the afternoons. So I figure I did my part working in the morning, and I
took my calls off of everybody. All right, have fun.
I worked till 11 that day, I think, or 11:30, and then I said I'm done, and then I slept all day and all night, and I was fine the next morning. So. But
all right.
All right.
Sorry. Anybody have any shower thoughts?
Shit, I had one, and I can't remember what it was.
I had one too. I remember being like, "Ooh, that's a good one. I'm gonna remember that." And then, of course, here I am.
What is this doing here? So I don't have one, but I had one. It was a good one too. Damn it! Did I write it down? I guess I didn't write it down. I did not write it down.
Or we'll
Son of a gun.
screenshot it or put it in a notepad or something if I remember.
Yeah, I usually like write it in my notes on my phone, and I did it this time. So,
Anyways, we'll have one later. We'll have two next week. Anyways,
we'll have
you know-
two next week. Well, can't we just like throw one out?
All right, hold on. I'll Google. Give me 1 second.
If the Earth was flat, the edge would probably be a tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Or highly disguised by the government.
You might have made a decision that saved your life without knowing it. That's pretty deep.
One frustrating thing about getting older is younger people not getting your references. The upside
ain't
is
that the
them
truth?
assuming you came up with it all your own.
If a blind person hates you, they hate you as a person.
America is undefeated in the Super Bowl. No
That's
other
true.
country has ever won the Super Bowl
This
or
is
the
my
World Series.
my
And
favorite.
Earth is undefeated in the Miss Universe contest.
How do blind people know when to stop wiping? That is one of the greatest mysteries in the world.
Do deaf people hear themselves in English, or do they hear themselves in sign language?
Like their thoughts, like when they talk
Yeah.
to themselves. That's a good question.
You still have like an inner monologue.
Yeah, but when you think it's in English, so what are they thinking in?
If they
True.
can talk.
I guess technically it's not even English because you're not saying anything. That's just kind of what your universal translator translates it to. But
I was gonna say.
anyways, you can watch. Oh yeah, yawning. You can catch us at Podnerds on Twitter, Hoosier Nerds on Facebook. You can watch and listen to us at Hoosier Nerds on YouTube. And you can listen to us at your favorite podcasting sites like Spotify, TuneIn, iTunes, and Amazon.
And you always know who's your nerds.